So updated for 2022 after driving for years, thousands of trips. In this video, you saw it, 12 expert tips for beginners. I know it says beginners, but frankly, it doesn't matter how long you've been driving for Uber Eats. This is going to provide you value. And speaking of, I'm not going to waste your time. I just want to deliver this pretty concisely here and get you that value. So let's get into it. Number one, if it doesn't give you the miles and the pay, don't take it. And I'm kind of specifically citing Uber Connect, at least at the time of filming this video. Now, I know rideshare doesn't really give you that. It just gives you the passenger star rating. Haven't done rideshare in a bit, but if you're doing Uber Eats, and I say this and I include this on the list because you can change your trip preferences. Miles in the pay doesn't show you that. So again, if one of these options doesn't give you those metrics, I wouldn't really take it. Number two, paying attention to virtual restaurants. This is something that we've really seen, I'd say, in just the last 2 years. So the first thing that comes to mind are the Mr. Beast virtual restaurants. So it's not, physically a Mr. Beast location other than that one location they did for a video, but you get it, right? It's contracted out through another kitchen. I saw it here in Pittsburgh. It was at a Bravo, and they just, again, contract out the kitchen. And I say pay attention to it because if you see a restaurant that you've never heard of before in your marketplace, like I've never heard of this restaurant, it might be a virtual restaurant. So just keep in mind, you're going to have to deal with how the physical location performs. So if you discover it's at like a slow restaurant and they drop the ball, make a note when you see that name of that virtual restaurant again. Number three, this is certainly updated for 2022. Pay attention to this one. This is a big one, and this is something that we're seeing more and more of, is Trip Radar, in my opinion, is mostly not worth it. And I don't want you to feel rushed just because others are looking at it. Do not feel rushed because it says, hey, 4 other couriers are looking at it. 5 other couriers are looking at it. It doesn't matter. Follow the same best practices. That is what we talk about here. The dollars to mile ratio. How much am I getting paid for the miles driven? Does that make sense? Are you basically getting enough money for it to be worth it? Don't feel rushed and pressured on Trip Radar. Number 4, speaking of that, I need to go over at least this fundamental, which is the dollars to mile ratio. So when I say how much am I getting paid for the miles driven, what margin should you even be looking for? What makes sense? Here's the numbers. I would look at ideally $1.75 paid out per business mile that you're driving. Like I'm online, right? I'm online with Uber Eats. I'm intending to do business. Those are business miles. So all of those miles, am I getting paid at least $1.75? Now the floor, because that's kind of the next question I get. Well, what's the minimum? $1.75 is good. I say like $1.25. If you're getting below $1.25, you can still make some money, but is it worth it for the wear and tear in your vehicle? I don't know. Ideally, like the best case, what you should really be going for is really $2 plus per mile, because then you're really getting a margin versus the general operating cost of your vehicle and actually making money. Number 5, certainly a pain point, and especially if you are new, this one can kind of cause you some problems. So whenever you're ending a delivery, like you're gonna make the delivery, you're a block or 2 away, Uber Eats, I feel like they like to send add-on orders. So a stacked order, an additional order request. And I'm telling you, sometimes it'll block the screen. It'll block the in-app navigation. It'll block the Uber driver app, and it'll show you the new request. So kind of going back to Trip Radar, like don't feel rushed. Don't feel pressure because it's blocking where you need to go. You just want to get rid of that screen. It's, pull over if you have to, but look at the fundamentals still. The dollars to mile ratio, it doesn't make sense. Make that decision first, right? And then you can finish that first delivery as normal. Number 6, here's kind of an advanced strategy, but it's a strategy that should not be ignored. I'm telling you this, and that's the fundamentals of do not chase the surge zones. Now, that surge zone is kind of unique to Uber Eats. It's that constantly changing extra bonus pay. Now, the advanced strategy that really comes into play is don't chase it, unless you're number one, like a master in your marketplace. So I know the trends here in Pittsburgh because I've driven long enough, and you'll pick up on this as you do days, weeks, certain shifts. And I know, number two, how long that surge might last. Or maybe number three, I know that it's an exceptionally busy day. And I know that because, again, market knowledge, that I've seen the entire marketplace lit up with a surge that's been consistent, right? It hasn't gone down after 5, 10, maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's still exceptionally busy. And then I guess number four is I would kind of go after that surge zone. If it's one of those other criteria, I know the marketplace, I know how long that surge is going to last. I know it's been hanging around. It hasn't cooled off at all. And it's only like 3 to 5 minutes away. So even if it's super busy, if it's crazy busy, I'm still not driving 10, 15 minutes to a surge zone. That's not worth it because you're still putting those miles on your vehicle. But if it's like 3 minutes away, ideally 4 or 5 minutes, then knowing everything else that I mentioned, I might transition to that zone. Number 7, a big thing that I'm a believer in with Uber Eats is remember the bonuses are stackable. I love it. It's stackable bonuses. So I can get that surge pay, which is a per delivery bonus. And if available in your marketplace, here comes the market knowledge, I can get a quest bonus and I can get a consecutive streak bonus. Now with those, you have to make sure it makes sense. So I got to take like 3 in a row and then I get a bonus. Sometimes it doesn't make sense because I get an order that's, average pay and it's super far. So that's not worth it. So I wouldn't take a consecutive streak bonus. But if these things make sense, you can get like all 3 of those bonuses, particularly on Uber Eats. Number 8, talking about equipment. Look, I'll be honest with you, your customer, most likely, like really on any of these platforms, they're not going to notice your equipment because it's like 99% contactless now with deliveries. They're not going to notice, but you will notice. So if you're doing this, I'd say longer than like 3 months maybe, then I would invest in some actual side hustle equipment. We have an affiliate team storefront, link down below if you want to get the best accessories for any side hustle. And I will tell you, even if you're doing it I'll say more than a month, right? If you're doing it like a month, don't bother. But a pizza bag, it's massive. It has saved me. Like if they order 2 pizzas, I'm carrying it. And then there's wings on top, but then there's a drink. So I can put the hot food in the pizza bag and it has a handle. It saves me walking back to my car other than like trying to balance all this stuff. A catering bag, places like Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Outback Steakhouse, places with these massive wide bags, it's not going to fit. I'm telling you, it's not going to fit in a standard hot and cold bag. And I've delivered in person to customers with the catering bag. I'm like, oh, that's nice that you have that. And any little thing that can help you get more of a tip. Now, again, with most of these being contactless, the benefit kind of comes from, if they see it, they might comment, but it just makes your job easier. Number 9, and I think some might disagree with this, and that's fine. Comment down below if you disagree with it. But I would really think before you take shop and pay orders. So you shop and you pay with the Uber Plus card. Now, here is my, threshold of if it's going to make sense. So if it's a small little drugstore, a Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, and it will show you how many items you're shopping for. If it's like 5 items, maybe even 6, 7 items, like that's one thing. But if it's a bigger store, whatever it is, and if it's showing you a good amount of items, and you might know that store is either busy, they don't have enough cashiers, what have you. If you know it's going to take a while, I usually go away from shop and pay orders, but let me know down below in the comments because there might be an opportunity there, but I don't like wasting my time going into a store whenever I can go into a restaurant, boom, get the food and continue. Number 10, talking about strategy. And I have not talked about this a lot, actually risk taking with strategy. And the hack here, I guess the insight here is my risk taking will increase or decrease based on the day. And frankly, based on my earnings. So if I'm having a great day, if I'm stacking bonuses, if I'm getting good surge pay, if I'm constantly busy, I get good stacked orders, whatever it is. And I know like, well, I'm probably trending towards $25, $28 an hour. Like I'm doing good. Then again, I might take more risks. So that restaurant that I don't love, McDonald's, Taco Bell, maybe a restaurant that's kind of dropped the ball before, I am more likely to take a risk there because my earnings are good. And I'm saying this because it might be really good payouts, maybe $10 for like 2 miles, which is a very good dollars to mile ratio. But if it's from a restaurant that I've had problems with before, if I'm not doing that good, I might be a little hesitant to take it. But if I'm doing pretty good that day, then there you go. I might take that. I might have more of a risk taken on that order. Before we get into number 11, if you're getting value in this video, consider dropping a like and consider subscribing. Join the team here. It's my job to help you make money in different side hustles. We try most every single major app and niche out there. This is a great place to be. In my opinion, the best place on the platform to do this. Number 11 is a really good insight and strategy here as well. So you need to know that your markets will have areas that either get busy first, they stay busy longer, and or they'll offer higher surge pay. So why wouldn't, and I pretty much guarantee this, it doesn't matter the marketplace. There's going to be trends, little pockets in your market that, again, they get busy first, they may stay busy longer, and or they're offering that higher surge pay. So why would this happen? It comes down to the demographics, knowing your marketplace. So does this area maybe have more student population, a college area, universities? So those students might not have access to a kitchen, so they're ordering more food delivery, let's say. Maybe an area of your marketplace just stays up later. The demographic, they're staying up later. They may be ordering maybe late night. That's kind of the evenings. That's the time to drive in that area. Maybe that area just has higher spenders, those that are more likely to spend higher, like $80, $100 plus tabs. And I've seen it, especially from sushi places. So maybe that area has higher spenders, and or maybe that area is just more highly populated. So more customers, it's going to need more driver demand, especially if there's a lot of restaurants nearby. That's kind of the ideal that we look for. It's called a power strip. Those are areas that are really dense with restaurants. So I'm thinking about all of this, and I've seen this for years. It's the same pockets, and I've driven in different marketplaces. It's like the same pockets that will get busy first, stay busy longer, and or they might offer higher bonus pay. And then number 12, something that I've been following for the past like 6 to 12 plus months really, and that comes down to that surge pay, and just something for you to know, again, especially if you're new, or just a reminder if you've been doing this for a while. I've seen that if you've seen exceptionally high surge pay, which is that per delivery bonus, that I wouldn't anticipate getting that really high surge pay. It's unfortunate. I wish it really wasn't like that. But if you see like something crazy, 5, 6, I've seen some crazy numbers. Comment down below the highest surge pay you've seen. I've seen like $20 surge pay. The point is you'll never really get that highest end surge pay for whatever reason. You can drive right kind of near that icon. If it's like $5, it'll say $350 on your next trip. Or if it's like $450, you'll get like $350 on your next trip. So little food for thought there. If you think you're going to drive to that zone to get like 6, 7, some crazy high surge pay, you'll get surge pay, but from what I've seen, it's never really that max amount. So if this list helped you out, and hopefully it did, definitely drop a like on this video and let me know kind of the biggest standout tip, or maybe something that I left out. If you have a tip or strategy hack, definitely comment that down below. You can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.